You're so fucking late.
Oh, whoa.
Alright, cool. Everybody relax and at ease. Check it out. Alright, we're gonna go over team role, or actually I'm gonna do that last. There's a reason I'm gonna do that last. Alright, check it out. Introduction to reconnaissance. There are 4 reconnaissance types. Okay, I'm gonna teach you all 4. There's one I'm gonna stress for a reason. Okay, route reconnaissance means assess terrain, enemy routes, and choke points. Okay, you want to assess how they can move. You want to note ASRs, MSRs.
Hey, I got
routes.
an on-call. I got a jet.
You're good.
You got a what call?
An on-call.
What the fuck is that?
It's where
What does he
has to
do?
get called into work. Medical shit. I
Oh,
don't
okay.
know. I know he deals with medical shit, so.
Gotcha.
Alright, you got route reconnaissance. You know, assess terrain, enemy routes, checkpoints, and choke points. Alright, area recon. Observe key zones, airfields, fobs, bases, talks. The key points to what the enemy has to communicate with each other, but also move troops. Alright. Zone reconnaissance, full sweep and intelligence gathering of a broad region. Okay, you're notating enemy positions, you're notating how they're moving, where they're at, what they're doing. That's where your salute and 3D report comes in handy. The last one's combat reconnaissance, and I cannot stress this enough, but we teach it the most for a fucking reason. You will, as a recon element, what should you not be doing?
Silhouetting.
Yes and no. Not the one I'm looking for. For combat reconnaissance, what should you not be doing? It's in the fucking name. Bingo! Damn.
Oh, that's a good one. Good job. Good job,
Yes.
Tainty.
Alright. You should not be engaging the enemy. That is not your job. Your job is to recon the enemy. Give back reports. In the event you have to do it, we teach it the most because you need to know what to do in that situation. Okay? It's where you are planning to engage, meaning that you're going to recon, but there's a potential to engage the enemy. Okay? Okay, there are 4 key principles of reconnaissance. All right, and I'm going to stress 2 very important ones. Avoid detection is the first one I'm going to stress. Okay, it's where noise, light, discipline comes in handy. The more noise you make, the easier it is to get caught. The more light you illuminate, the easier it is to get caught. Okay, the more you silhouette, you're going to get caught. You want to try to find ways of not getting caught. All right, collect actionable intelligence. Okay, it means collect shit that matters. I don't give a fuck if this dude's smoking a cigarette. I give a fuck if he's... I do that, damn it. Leave me alone. I need to know what he's carrying. I need to know what he's doing as far as, like, is he patrolling? Is he a sentry? Is he at a machine gun nest? Is he at a checkpoint? I don't need to know if he's smoking a cigarette. I need to know what he's doing. All right? Maintain communication. Okay, there's a 2-part to that. You need to maintain communication with command, but you also need to have that communication very minimal. Okay, I don't need to know what you're doing every 2 minutes. I need to know what you're doing every 10. That's usually rule of thumb I do. Okay, I need to know if you're moving through a fucking zone. I need to know if you're moving past a checkpoint. I need to know what you're doing, but I don't need to know it as often.
I have a question regarding communication. Is there a way that you know of, like, say you're doing reconnaissance and then you have a patrol that comes right within vocal distance of you to where they could hear the things that you say? Is there any way that you know of that you could communicate over, hey, I'm going to be comms dark, without saying it because you can't? Or is that just too broad of a question? If it is, just tell me to fuck off.
I can't. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna get into that, and I'll explain that in another minute. Just hold on, damn it! You're getting too far ahead.
Sorry.
What? What do you want to have for?
I have a question.
What do you have a question about? I hate when you're a smart ass.
Fried sour cream and salsa. When we're supposed to be doing talk.
Okay, my car's in the car.
Out of sour cream and salsa? Call the National Guard.
my card's in the car if you want to take my car. You want to take the car.
Walmart?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got the kids about to sleep.
They still love sleep. He's awake.
Damn it.
And,
Okay. Salty, goddamn it. Called an extra part is crazy. Alright, last one is the second thing that I'm going to stress the most. Never engage unless mission critical. It's where the first thing and the last thing are stressed so much. Hey, you don't need to engage every fucking time. Not every bad guy needs a bullet in his head. Sometimes it takes the deficit of the nation's debt to drop a Moab on somebody's ass, alright? You don't always have to put a bullet in a skull. Now, ask your question again, Psych. I'm going to explain.
Whenever you're doing reconnaissance, and you have a patrol coming up to you, is there a way to let command know that you are going to be comms dark?
Hey, there's two
without
ways
verbally saying it.
Yes, there's two ways you can do this, and it works, and it can work two ways, okay? In the event you know you're going to be within breathing distance of somebody, you can call it a command, say, hey, for the next however long, it could be 30 minutes, it could be an hour. I'm going to be comms dark. Do not respond to me unless I call back on you, okay? That's one way you can do it before that happens. The other way you can do it is hot miking. Okay, hot miking is where you literally just hold down the mic, and if they see that you're keyed up on it, I usually will assume that there's a reason you're doing that. I'm not going to respond. I won't respond. Now, somebody else may do that. All right. The other way you could do this is if you're breathing down the enemy's neck, you could also send two people to go away, right? If it's able to, you could say, point at them, basically point at them, ping them, you two, and you can say move, which lets them know, like, hey, move away. All right, it's where your hand and arm signals come in handy in the game, which I'm going to teach you some of those in this too. And that'll also...
I was going to say, what would be really cool is if we could get a mod in to where your radio comms that are coming through could get projected out into the game chat. And so you would have to have, like, radio etiquette like a motherfucker. If you get into a situation like that, you have to turn your radio down, or you would have to key up, or you would have to trust that they're not going to key in and try to talk to you whenever you're in a situation like that.
So the other option I've done is I've actually cut my radio off completely. Because in that situation, I'm more worried about the guys that are with me than somebody calling me for a fucking report of what the fuck I'm doing. You can't cut it off. I'm not going to get mad, right? Especially if I call up and I don't hear you a couple times, I'm going to assume that either shit went bad or you're doing something to where you can't get caught. All right, that's where sometimes we notate that. Here in your FTX, I will notate that especially with the comms breach, that if you're on that comms a bunch of times, eventually I'm going to say, hey, enemies have access to your comms. You need to go back to your sundial channel. Okay? And which I'll go over that before the FTX. Where were we at? I'm not going to go over that yet. I'm going to go over OP techniques. Okay, observation point techniques. All right? Select cover and concealment. Okay? That's your two major things. You need to find places that offer the best cover and offer the best concealment. Second thing is camouflage. Can anybody tell me the two types of camouflage? Alright, love you.
Love you too.
Ice cream?
Dollar General,
Dollar General's fine. Just give me whatever. I like a cookie dough. Alright. Camouflage types. Can anybody tell me the two types?
Traditional or natural and digital.
Wrong. You got one part right. Natural is the first one. There's a secondary type.
Concealing?
Nope. I'll give you a hint. Nope. The camo netting is a hint. Face paint is a hint. What are those called? Ooh, artificial. Natural and artificial. Okay. When it comes to your camouflage, which one do you want to go for the most?
Natural.
Natural. It blends in with the environment a lot better. Alright. Alright, you want a position of wide view, and you want something that has an exfil route or an egress point. Why are those two things important? Why do you want wide view and somewhere that you can egress easily?
So you can see anything that might be coming up to you, and if there is, you can get out of dodge.
Bingo. Ooh, God. Alright. Maintain radio silence unless reporting. Okay, that's where your question kind of gets answered as well. Only time that a recon element should... what the fuck? Anyways. That's what I was wondering. Like, heard something shuffling around. Anyways, maintain radio silence. This is going to answer your question. Less reporting. Okay, the only time I should hear you on that radio is if you're reporting into me. Usually, what I do for a recon team, if I don't hear you within 30 minutes, I will send a fucking radio check over. Okay, it's where you also tell me like, hey, I'm gonna be silent for this long. Okay, what I do if you're gonna be silent for a while, overestimate. I'd rather hear back from you earlier during that overestimation than hear you back later from that overestimation. Everybody tracking?
Tracking.
All right, cool. Observation skills. Binos or scopes with rangefinders. Okay, you can use either one of those. Those are very important. They can fucking give you ranges. You can see the enemy a lot further, meaning you don't have to be breathing down their neck. All right, log enemy position, movements, and vehicle types. Okay, you want to log where they're at, what they're doing, and how they're moving along with what vehicles they have. Okay, I'm also going to go over this with y'all. Mark map with accurate icons and grids. Cool. I'm going to give you my little map marking class. Everybody pull out your map.
Oh, I can't hear you with the map pulled up. What?
Ah, shit.
I'll be alright.
Psych, I think you can hear me though, right?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Tell them to look over at Levy, at military site.
Oh,
Levy.
now I can hear you.
Oh! Hell yeah!
Levy!
Alright, military site Levy, right? I'm going to show you some of the map markings I use. A circle. Okay, circles I usually use as OP points or places of interest, or LZs or DZs. Okay, these are always things that not only that, I always label what they are. So if I have a circle, I'm like, hey, this is going to be my OP point. I name it an OP point, and then I give it a fucking secondary name. Alright? So usually something like this, like OP Golf. Okay? That's one thing I use. The next thing I use is X's. If it's something that I'm like, hey, it's something we need to destroy, or it's a search and destroy mission, I'll always label it as such. Alright?
Are you putting stuff down right now? Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yeah, icons.
I didn't see any of your markings or anything.
You can't see them?
No, I can see salties.
Stand by. I forgot them on the wrong side.
Oh, so if Toxic turns off his mic while I have the thing on, I can't hear him, but...
If Toxic turns off his mic, you can't hear him? That's crazy.
Yeah, like, if he turns off his mic and then turns it back on while he's talking while I'm in the map, I can't hear him.
Oh, I thought you were saying if he turns it off, you can't hear him. I was like, yeah, that's fucking crazy. It happens for me, too.
Alright.
Hello, Toxic.
Yeah. Alright, let's try this again.
Toxic.
Alright, you should be able to see my markings now.
Yo, you're Russian.
Oh, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
Oh, you were. I was about to say, that's why we can't see him.
I went back to American, that way you could see it.
Yeah, now we can see him.
Right,
why can't I see your name? Oh, never mind. I can't see anyone's name.
That's the whole point. Alright, So like basically, anytime I use a circle, I always label it as something of the important, right? The other thing I use is a triangle. Usually I use that for labeling LZs or Ds or Ds. All right, usually I use a phonetic alphabet, just depending on what the situation is, right? It's like LZ Alpha, OP Raven, okay? The other thing you need to learn is the other marker I use. We did this the other night. So like, if we're doing a search and destroy mission, if it's something that I know we need to destroy, I always use a red X. The reason why is it pops out, and I know it's something that needs to be dealt with. All right. All right. Now the other map marker I use is the fully colorated enclosed triangle. Usually what I use for that is key points on a base. So like if it's a fob itself, I'll use the triangle, right? Because again, it brings identity of what the item is, okay? Especially if it's a structure. Now, if it's a civilian structure, and I don't know what it is, I'll sometimes do that, right? If I don't know if it's housing enemies, I'll usually make it a different color, either purple or, I don't want to say yellow. Usually I'll use purple for civilians, all right? The next item we have that I use a lot is this, okay? I use this to label control points on a map. Okay, depending on where that control point is, I'll even rotate it. You all know how to rotate your symbols, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the way I use this is, you see how the arrow is pointing towards the north. I would say like the northeast, or is that north?
Yes.
Yeah. All right, cool. That's the way the gun's pointing. Okay, the reason I do that is it associates which way the barrel's facing. All right. Now, next thing is military markers. Okay, you go to your military markers, you'll see you have 4 types. You have blue 4, op 4, independent, and unknown. Unknown is usually going to be reserved for civilians, or if you're not too sure that they are fucking enemy. Independent could be like a faction that you don't know if they're on your side or our side or the enemy side. You just know they're fighting the same people you're fighting. All right, op 4 is you know they're the enemy. Blue 4 is we know that they're friendlies, they're moving with us. Okay. You have different types of association with the marker. Okay, I'm gonna use one, and I'm gonna kind of label some shit with it that I do. Okay. Okay. I gave you an infantry marker times 2. What do you think that means? Yes, okay, it's not going to be a squad or it's not going to be a team, it's going to be 2 individuals. If I want to go further with that, I'm like, hey, it's a squad, this is how I do it. I'll put a squad. I'll let you know there's probably more than 4, more than 6. All right. If it's got something else with it, like let's say they have armor, right? Oh shit. Anybody tell me what that means? Oh shit. I need to do my full thing. Yep. APC 2. Yep. APC, because I'm trying to do the X, but it didn't let me do it, so fuck it. Squad of infantry with 2 APCs. Okay. The more information a commander has, especially with a reconnaissance mission, the more I can make a sound decision. Okay, so if you tell me that there's 2 APCs, I'm gonna believe there's 2 APCs. If you tell me there's 1, I'm gonna believe there's 1. Now, if I roll up on the objective and I found more than 1, I'm probably gonna shoot your ass out because it means you weren't paying attention to bullies. Or attention to detail is very key in reconnaissance because you need to be able to tell me down to a T what you see. Again, you're relaying this to a commander. I'm not there on the ground. I'm going off of what you're seeing. All right. All right, you can. I'm not going to go through all the markings as far as what they have. Just know that there's different types. There's infantry, there's armor, anti-armor, mortars, and they each have their own fucking symbol. All right, now the one I am going to go over is this, which is air wing. Okay, this one's very important. Okay, when you look at category, you have 3 different types. You have land, air, and installation. Okay, if it's a rotary wing, okay, what I normally do is like this is being a helicopter. I'm gonna use the rotor. I'm gonna use the air category and rotary wing, and put how many there are. That means there's ×2 in that general area. All right, you don't have to mark them individually. If they're in the same area, you can usually just use one icon. All right, if it's an installation like a TOC or a mobile command center, you can do this. It just lets me know, hey, this is a building of some sort, and it's a mobile command unit. Okay, that's another way that you can label a base. With that said, as far as icons go, there's a total, I think you can have up to 9 icons before they start deleting. Okay, so this is where the minute you reach 9, you need to go ahead and take a picture of whatever you got, or you need to fucking have somebody else take over map marking for you. Okay, this is where you got to pay attention to shit like that. The last icon I'm going to show you is checkpoints. Okay, I'm going to label these certain things for a reason. Oh, shit. I usually use the upside down arrow. Oh, shit. Can I zoom out, you stupid bastard? All right, cool. Here we go. All right, let's say we were leaving from here, right? You know, we're leaving to here, going to Levy. What I usually do is every 200 meters, I put a new checkpoint, depending on the way I'm traveling. All right. The reason for these is to notify command where you're at all times. Okay, that way you don't have to constantly give a grid reference. You could say, hey, I've reached this phase line. All right. These are all phase lines. So I'm like labeling a bunch. Oh, yeah, I'll get the picture. Taco Bell's crazy. All right, you don't have to be accurate of where that's the way you're traveling. You just need to have the general area of that's where you're going to be. All right. And then let's say these are not checkpoints. Probably should have just said phase lines. Okay, these are like how you're marking the movement you're taking, right? This is the direction you're going to be going. This is the way you want to get across. All right, so I'm going to move these down a little bit. All right, let's say I get to my last phase, right? This is going to be where my observation point is, right? Now, my phase lines I've named Greek gods, right? But my OP point I've named an animal. The purpose behind that is to bring attention to something different than what I used getting there. Hey, let's command know that, hey, I've reached my objective point. So if I'm calling up like, hey, this is Recon 1 to Recon 2, passing phase line Hades. Hey, Recon 1, this is Recon 2. Reach OP Dragon. Hey, that lets me know that you went through all your phase lines, you got the dragon. You might have missed one. It is what it is, but I at least know where you are as far as like the mission tempo and where you're at on the map. All right. Everybody tracking? Hey, phase lines are very tracking. Yep. So phase lines are important. You need to have those set before you leave anywhere. All right. Salute report. Everybody should know what that means. If you don't, I'm going to tell you. Size, activity, location, unit, time, and equipment. Okay, size, how many people are there? Activity, what are they doing? Location, grid cord, unit, Who are they with? Are they fucking U.S. military? Are they Russian? Are they paramilitary? Time, you can say now or give the in-game time. It's up to you. Equipment, what do they have? So do they have small arms? Do they have armor? What do they have that can help them on the battlefild? Everybody tracking? A short version of that's your 3D report. Business direction description. Usually you're going to use your 3D while you're in the team. Alright, you're not going to use that on the commands. You're always going to give the salute report for the command. Alright, communication reporting. Use abbreviation codes, report formats, encrypt or encode info when possible. Okay, check in and out procedures. Silent radio when needed. Alright, I'm giving you a reporting example. Alpha 1, this is Recon 2. 4 infantry, grid 045029, patrolling north, ETA 3 minutes to outpost, over. Okay, lets me know that, hey, you saw 4 infantry at this grid cord, they're patrolling north, and you're about 3 minutes out from your observation point. Okay, I shouldn't have to explain radio. A lot of y'all should know this already. Alright. However, I am going to go over this part, which is recon team's composition. Usually it's a team lead, spotter, scout or scouts, and marksman, optional. Okay? Your team leader, coordinating movement and map intel. So TL, your job is to update the map and to make sure the team is moving the way you want them to. You set the phase lines. You also communicate with higher command to let them know what's going on. Scouts, your job is to be the primary mover and eyes on terrain. Y'all are constantly ahead of the formation and assessing what's going on. All right, you're assessing every terrain feature, so you're a little bit further ahead of the TL and the rest of the team. You're the ones telling them, hey, there's a cliff down here. Hey, there's a fucking ravine. We can, drop in this ditch. Shit like that. Spotter, your job is observing using optics, rangefinder, GPS. Your job is to relay to the TL what you see, so that you two can corroborate that basically the old saying of 2 eyes is better than 1 is true in this situation. Both of you see the same fucking thing, it's easier for the TL to mark it on the map. Marksman, long range cover if necessary. That's where your fucking Overwatch comes into play. So if you're constantly having to move, your Overwatch guy is there to make sure that you can move safely. Okay? Loadout, usually suppressed rifle or DMRs, binoculars, rangefinders, map, compass, GPS, IR strobes, smoke flares, MVGs, camouflage gear, and lightweight armor or none. You want to be as light as possible while you're in the kit you're in now. You're as light as possible. You want to move through terrain easily without getting fucked. Everybody tracking?
Tracking.
Yeah!
Come here, Bubba. I love you. Come here. Go hang out with me. Alright. With that said, I want to make sure there's a 4-man team.
3. There's 3.
You're getting 4, you're getting a cadre. Alright, E4, follow me.